Peace and love, everybody. This is Sister Nzinga from Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga YouTube channel, where we are working on emancipating ourselves from mental slavery. I'm just sharing information that, because I believe that each one teach one. So I'm still a student myself, but what I do know, or my opinion, may be valuable to somebody. So I just get on here every week and I share. I apologize. Today is Wednesday. I usually do my videos on Tuesday. But I wasn't feeling good. Sister wasn't feeling good yesterday, and that's very unusual. But I'm feeling better now and back on my feet and rolling, got my energy back. So I'm back with you. Not really sure what made me not feel well. But anyway, I got some antibiotics. I tried some natural antibiotics, and it worked a little bit, but I just still wasn't feeling myself. So I got some other kind of, I don't like taking natural some antibiotics, and I feel better today, so I can move forward with that. But today I want to talk to you about food. We've been talking about many things, in this cycle of, emancipating yourself, the things that you have to do, because it is a holistic approach of things that what we have to do. It's not just you just handle one part of it. We want to do it holistically, so we cover all aspects of ourselves in order to work on building up that beautiful, wonderful person who we really are, and getting down to nitty gritty and getting your freedom, thinking for yourself, because think it ain't illegal yet. So let me first thank all my viewers, my subscribers, those that share, those that comment. I really appreciate you when you talk black to me. So in talking about this food, have you ever heard of a food desert? If you haven't, look up the definition. But wait, I looked it up. So I'm just gonna explain to you. And I didn't make this shit up. This is this definition. But when you look it up, you'll see it for yourself. But a food desert is an urban area in which it is difficult to buy affordable or good quality food. And then they have here that many poor people live in food deserts where they have plenty of food, but none of it is healthy. Ain't that some shit? So even for them to say that an urban area, because this is how they make up these terms: urban, the city, the rural area. They make up all these words, y'all, and they that's what I'm saying. This is the mental slavery. This is the mental slavery, because they'll make up these words that are urban. So then whenever they talk about people of color, they talk about the urban area or the urban wear. They even have a store called the Urban Warehouse where they sell clothes that I guess urban people supposed to go and buy. And of course, and what do they do? They go there, they buy it, thinking, oh, this is where my clothes is at. All this stuff is made up, y'all. It's a plan. But this food desert thing is a real thing, because you ever notice when you go to the grocery store, there's a small section either on the left or the right that has fresh fruits and vegetables, but the majority is just one section, maybe 1/5 of the building, but the rest of the food is packaged food that comes in bags, food that comes in boxes, food that comes in cans, or food that's been frozen. Really, really think about that. Don't just go in there. So I'm saying these things because I want you to think. It ain't illegal yet. Y'all think that it's when you go to a store, you can hardly get any fresh food. The majority of food is processed food, and when they process the food, they have to put chemicals in it to make it last for a year. They make it whatever the thing is, make it sustainable to hold. Whether it's frozen, whether it's in a can, they put certain things in a canned food to hold the canned food, and yeah, but guys, food is so important. And another thing is that most of the food that we buy, it's not food. How many people of color, black people own grocery stores? There are a few, but not many people of color own grocery stores. All of our food, things that we consume in our bodies does not come from us, and especially in our urban neighborhoods, the corner stores used to be owned by our people. Our own people used to own our food stores or corner stores. But now most, it's very few stores that are in the urban neighborhoods on the corners to serve the people. So if you don't want to go away to the grocery store, drive to the grocery store, that you just come and go like and walk to the corner store. They're owned by people who don't look like you. It's either Indians, people, Pakistani people. I don't know the names of all the people, and I'm just saying, just as a reference and a cover all, because most of the people I say Chinese foods, but Chinese people. But sometimes they're not from Chinese. They from China. They from Taiwan. They from these different things. But you know how they label all black people as black people. So I'm labeling all of them as Indians or Chinese people. But those are the people who are supplying the food to you in your neighborhoods now. And most of the time, I don't. When I go visit, the U.S. and go, I don't go to those stores. I just refuse to give them my money because most of the time those stores, they're not clean. The people are rude, and they don't give a damn. They just in your neighborhood to make money off of you. Just think about that. There is a plan. There is something in place that allows these people to come into our neighborhoods and serve us food, stuff that we need, basic supplies that we need for our life, for our livelihoods. Haven't you ever thought about that? Like, why come we didn't get no black people owning these stores? Or why come, every store that you go to, even at the liquor stores, I mean, it's a shame they got liquor stores almost every corner. Go 2 blocks, liquor store, 2 blocks, liquor store. Why are those stores not owned by black people? What is the plan that these people are allowed to be able to come in our neighborhoods to be able to supply us with these things that we need? I mean, this is the shit I'm talking about. Think. It ain't illegal yet. It's not a joke. This is serious shit. This is serious shit that most of the stores and supplies that we need, to just for our day-to-day basis, they're not given to us. They're not sold to us by our own people. And the problem is, because I'm 60-something years old, when I grew up, we did have that. But now there's a plan also in place, because all this stuff is intentional. That when a black person has a store, because my sister and her ex-husband used to own a store, and we found out that truly that when you go to the different merchandisers that that are supplying these supplies, say loaf of bread, milk, the basic things, they did some research and found out that they were charging them more than they was charging the other stores that was in the community. So there's a plan. That's why these stores don't last, is because when somebody of color comes, or somebody from the neighborhood comes and opens up a store trying to do the same thing, supply some basic food, milk, sodas, drinks, blah, 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 bread, that you have to pay more for it. And so therefore, if you have to pay more for it, then you have to charge more. And so of course, people, we're not loyal to our people. So if we have to pay 50 cents more to our own people, we're gonna bypass our own people and go get a Chinese man or the Indian man, that thing that costs $1. You're not gonna pay $1 for it, $1.50 for it at your own people. You're gonna go give Chinese man $1. So all this stuff. So I'm saying, this is the mental slavery that we're into. This is part of the plan. This is why sometimes we can't do for self, because our own people won't support us. I had a business for almost 40 years, and I thank God my store was successful, because I sold African things. It was a cultural shop. So most of the people did come to me, but that wanted cultural things. But some white people came in there and just dropped the money without question, especially when it came to like the household goods. They wanted our things that we had. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to get back on this subject of the food. That there is a thing called a food desert, and if there's a definition for it and it's in the dictionary, then this is by design. This is by design that they have created these things. So fresh fruits and vegetables are not readily available in our communities. Just take that in. Think about that. It's not readily available in our communities. And you have to go out. It doesn't make any sense that you have to pay more for quote unquote what they say organic. And then you really don't know, because you can't trust this system about if this shit is really organic. Because do you know that the Food and Drug Administration now are one? How the hell can you put the Food and Drug Administrations together? But that's a oxymoron. These dumb words. I don't keep them dumb words in my head. But foods and drugs, they don't go together. Food is supposed to be something that's supposed to nourish your body. It's a natural thing. It comes from the earth. Supposed to give a natural thing to help you get energy. It supplies the body with what it needs, the minerals, the things that your body needs. Drugs are is a temporary something that you get, and it's chemical based. It's not natural at all. And but now I was amazed when they put the Food and Drug Administration. It's all one now. How can you have them two people blending together? Because it's the plan, man. Because They don't care. They just trying to see what they could do to mix these two things together to make these things, to give them to you in the way that they want to give it to you. It ain't nourishing because they count on you being sick. And so it's all these people are, you might think I'm crazy. I keep telling you that all these people is in cahoots. They all together. Food is supposed to be something that nourishes the body. The Most High gave us, it's amazing when you go to Caribbean or tropical areas that it's amazing that you see so many fruit trees all over the place. And then there's so many vegetables that we take for granted that are nourishing for the body. I know mostly in Jamaica and the Caribbean things, there's something called callaloo. That grows as a weed. In the U.S., they tell you it's a weed and they chop it down. But there's people who see it and go and just go get it. Instead of going to the grocery store, you want some callaloo, you go get it. It's similar to like a collard green or spinach type thing. And then in Belize, I learned that there's a thing called chaya, and it's a leaf, pretty leaf, and it grows like plentiful all over the place. But you eat it, like dandelions. People don't know that you can eat the leaves of the dandelion. Those are very helpful to you. They don't teach you that kind of stuff because they don't want you to be able to have access to this stuff, because what they have done is taken all the things that that Spirit, the Most High, has given us freely to live off of, and they've taken it and made it their own. They package it themselves and then sell it to you. But it's there. It was given to us. It sounds like it's like some prehistoric type of something, but the reality is that that's the way, in my opinion, and I think maybe opinion of the other people who are conscious about this system that's going on, that's the way it was supposed to be. Now you have these what they call modern conveniences. But who is it convenient for? It's convenient for these other it's a convenience for you, but the bottom line that the people that are processing these foods and giving them to you, it's a money making process. Everything is about making money. You have to be able to understand this process that we're in, that this is part of the mental slavery, for you not to think, oh no, I would never have I don't want to have all these trees around me. In most of these places, because of the mindset and the brainwashing that we've been given, a lot of that food goes to waste, because they still tell even those people where it grows naturally around them, the food goes to waste. I mean, it's amazing how during certain seasons, avocados, mangoes, different fruits, they end up going to waste because the people, they don't want to pick at it. They eat a little bit of it, but it's like, it's just there. It's like a flower. The flower comes, the flower blooms, and it's gone. And speaking of flowers, there's so many flowers that you can eat also. There is a plan. There's a master plan, from the Most High. Let me see. The master has a great. There's a song. The Creator has a master plan. I'm saying in my mind now, fruits and vegetables for everybody, but that doesn't what it says. But there's a song about that. But if you listen to that song, it really does bring some truths about it, to how the world was really supposed to be, because the Most High supplied us with what we needed. There's a cycle that life, everything that lives goes through. Like when it comes to certain insects, there's certain bigger insects eat those insects, and then the animals eat these other things, and then we eat some of the animals. We eat the fruits. We eat the birds come and eat some of your vegetables, not vegetables, your fruits on your trees prior to you being able to get to it. I have a guava tree here in my yard. And most of the time, the guavas, they drop off, but they already been eaten by the birds, which is a wonderful thing, because that's what it's there for. It's there for their consumption along with our consumption. So it's so important to be able to think about what you're putting in your body, because also what's tied to that is dis-ease. And so when you don't put fresh fruits and vegetables into your body, you're going to get dis-ease. You're going to get diseases that are caused and planned for you to have, because after you get that disease, they got a pill for you. You go to the doctor and you get sick. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed that most people that eat fried food, eat pork, the beef that comes, the beef that's treated with chemicals. The chickens that's raised, by chemical. They put chemicals in the animals so they can grow faster. When they give those things to those animals, when you eat that, it goes inside you too. That's why we have obesity, because the way they're raising the animals to grow fast, and then you consume that, and then you eat that food, and then you start blowing up yourself too, getting big and faster. That's why we got young people with full breasts. You know, these young girls, they got bodies like grown women. I mean, you have to think. It ain't illegal yet. We must think and just stop accepting this bullshit. Think about what's going on around you and within you. Think about what you are consuming. So this is all a plan. And the plan it's not for your own good. Nothing that they do is for our own good. That's why you have to step off from this shit or these ideas or these narratives that they are creating, and try to think for yourself and do things that's best for yourself. You know, it's really a serious thing going on here. And this mental slavery, you can't see it because it's been passed down from generation to generation. You know, sometimes we'll say, well, you know, my mom and my grandma have been eating pork all their life, and it, you know, ain't nothing happened to them. Oh, something happened to them. They definitely probably have high blood pressure, and or they're diabetic, or now, you know, dialysis. The thing is the new thing that everybody's getting it, and it's messing up people's kidneys and everything. So so we look at these things, yes, and we're grateful that they have these things there to be able to help people when they have these when they do have these certain illnesses. But the thing is that you can prevent it. You don't have to have that illness. You don't have to have it. You can prevent it. You can prevent it by being wise about your choices. You're free to choose. You are free to choose what you consume. You're free to choose what you want to put in your body. You're free to make a choice to say, either I'm going to go to McDonald's, or maybe, you know, if you got to eat out, go to maybe a restaurant that's has finer foods. But it's still also someone else feeding you. You're free to choose your own food. People say, I don't feel like cooking, especially when people get older. You know, like I said, I'm in my 60s, and some of my friends, I'm tired of cooking. And so they either hire somebody, you know, either they eat out all the time, or either they buy one of these services that send you food, and you know, so all you have to do is prepare it, or sometimes the foods are already prepared, all you got to do is warm it up. All these things are money-making ideas. It makes it seem like it's a convenience for you, but the bottom line is a money-making thing for somebody else. And I ain't trying to knock nobody who's trying to make money, because I'm grateful that, you know, I was able to make money, you know, to be able to take care of myself in my later years, after I, you know, decided to go into business for myself. That's not what I'm knocking. I'm just saying that, you know, be wise about the choices that you make, and think about what's best for you. You know, it's crazy that they created a word called the food desert, because that's what they planned. They said, we're going to create these food deserts so we can do this and this and this. It's a plan. There's a plan, y'all. Don't be part of the plan. Make your own damn plans. Make your own damn plans. Plan what's best for you. Go back to what was natural and what's easy and convenient. Go back to growing your own food. It's easy. If you don't have a yard, if you live in an apartment, just get you some big, you know, use an old bleach bottle. You know, you ain't got to go buy no pots. Use an old bleach bottle or some cleaner, something that you have, and put it in there. Get some dirt and grow you just some, you know, simple, just tomatoes. That's the easy thing to start with. You know, so it doesn't, you know, some people have excuses. Well, I ain't got no backyard, or, you know, I live in an apartment. Where there's a will, there's a way. If that's what you really want for yourself, then you make it. If it is to be, it's up to me. You know, you heard that saying, if it is to be, it's up to me. So you can do it. It's possible. You know, it's possible. If you want to set your goals and doing something for yourself, it's possible. It may not be easy because, like you said, that convenient. It's always convenient to be able to go to the store to buy it. It's always convenient to pay someone else to do something for you. It's always convenient to be able to, you know, to have these things mailed to you. That's convenience, but think about the ultimate end game. What's it going to do to you? It's convenient for you, but what is it really doing for you? It's so important that we think about the foods that we intake, the things that we drink, sodas. Oh my gosh, please, y'all. Coke and Pepsi are the most addictive products that they have out there. And many people drink it every day, and they think, girl, I gotta have my Coke, or I gotta have my coffee, or I gotta have my cigarette. You know, people say this out their mouth. I gotta have my cigarette. I ain't had no coffee yet, so I gotta get my coffee in. You know, everything in moderation. And I ain't trying to knock nobody's thing. I'm just saying that we have to think about this, because That's a mental slavery thing. That's what I'm trying to point out to you. This is mental slavery, that you just really think that you gotta have that coffee in the morning. That you really think, oh Lord, I gotta have me a Pepsi. Oh, okay, I gotta go smoke a cigarette. Sometimes you're someplace and people will stand out in the cold in the wintertime to smoke that cigarette because they gotta have it. It's chemical based. Okay, and it's not just something that you think in your mind. So the chemical will go and make your mind think that you really need this thing, and so you get that thing by any means necessary. That's mental slavery, for you to be able to think that your mind's trying to tell you, I need this, I need this, I need this. What you really don't. You don't even want it sometimes. You don't even want it. But your body is telling you that you need it because chemically it has done things to your body to make your body tell your mind that you need it or you want it. So I love you. Think it ain't illegal yet. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Some of the basic things that we think about that we just do on a regular basis, it's because of the mental slavery. That it has been drilled into us. It's been passed down through generations that this is what I got to do or want to do, or this is what makes me feel good, or this is what, does this or does that. This is mental slavery, y'all. So, I'm just saying, think it ain't illegal yet. Just take a minute to think about this shit. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Continue to be well. Your wealth, your health is the new wealth. It's important for you to be healthy so you can live long, so you can think clearly, so you can have the freedom to be able to move about. There's some people who are so and have so much ailments that I can't go there because I can't walk up no steps. Then do something so you can walk up the steps. Exercise. Or, I don't like that because of this. I mean, I don't want to go. I don't want to get long because I'm already, long in my videos. But in this video. But y'all, please think it ain't illegal yet. There's a mental slavery here that is so tough that sometimes we can't see it. And some of the basic stuff we think that you're thinking for yourself, but you ain't thinking for yourself. You have been mentally enslaved. There's no longer chattel slavery where they're taking you and making you do things under a whip or chain. But the mental slavery is far more, I gotta say this, is far more fucked up for us because it's long lasting, and the fact that we're passing it down to our children, and then the children pass it down to their children, and so that shit is going on and on and on and on. So my folks, wake the flock up. Peace and love.